Hello everyone, and welcome back to PeliCast. On today's episode, we will have two guests from the first year, Lucas and Seoyeong, and we'll be talking about how to successfully pass the first year and how to apply and get in, and why they chose to study here at LF2. So I hope you enjoy. So, hi, and thank you for joining us on today's episode. So, you guys are both two of our first year students. Would you mind introducing yourselves to us?
So I'm Lucas Sieyes. I'm from England, and I'm in first year.
I'm Maeng, and I'm from South Korea, and I'm still in first year. So
Perfect. So in today's episode, I would like to focus on how you guys chose the second faculty of medicine, how you got here, how you got in, maybe some advice for our prospective students, and also how you're finding studying here and what's toughest for you. So Lucas, how did you find?
So I had previously been to uni in the UK. So the reason why I didn't want to do medicine in the UK because I'd already done it and I wanted to go to a different country. So I was looking around and saw the Czech Republic, got a great reputation and came across LF2. And I went to a sort of like a conference, not a conference, but like a meeting where there's different universities from Czech Republic, and was held by Medical Doorway, which is the company that I used to come through, and I met Mrs. Fabinegová.
Yes.
And she just gave me a really good impression of the university compared to everyone else, and so yeah, I sort of felt attracted to it, I guess.
For me, I was used to go to the Korean med school in Korea, but I don't really want to go to the Korean one because I want to work in US or the other country except Korea. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna search up the other things. Then I found the Czech Republic, Charles University, or the Italy, Hungary. So I was like, which one do I have to go? And I was like, I met Petra as well. And I was, okay, I think Charles University, they have the small group clinical things, I think. So I really like that point. So they can just focus on each student and then teach them the correct way. So I was that's why I just applied to Charles University.
Right. So just for all of our listeners, Mrs. Petra Krišková, she's our international students coordinator, and she also does the interviews for the entrance exams, which kind of brings me to my next question. Can you describe your experience with the entrance exams?
Yeah, so I had a decent amount of time to prepare. The company that I use, Medical Doorway, provided loads of resources to study on, so I basically just used that. And I was also working at the time, so sort of just trying to cram everything in, but it was okay, consistent. I mean, I had my degree, which was in chemical engineering, which helped me with sort of the chemistry and math side of it. And so I really had to focus on biology, which I hadn't done in about 7 years or so since GCSEs for me. So that was a tough one. But just grinded it out and sat the test. And the biggest advantage for me, and I think it might be the same for you, was the fact that they give you the answer on the day. Usually you have to wait for months in stress, but here you do the test, you get the result, you either go through or not to the interview, and you do it. And it was very chill. Got given one case, pull a little tag, and it's an ethical case. I think mine was palliative care or something like that. Spoke about that, and then they told you on the day, which was nice and relieving.
Did you do yours in the UK?
Yeah. And sat mine in the UK with a bunch of other people, some of the people who are with us now in first year, and then other people who gone to other universities.
How about you? Did you do yours in Korea?
Yeah, I did it in Korea, and honestly, I went to the Korean agency to contact with the Charles University. So I did a pre-med first, and then they kind of apply to my to the university of mine. So my entrance exam was kind of funny Because like our examiners were in the neurology or like neurosurgeon. So I was like really into that topics and the fields. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk about the euthanasia and like the neurosurgeon, and they really love it. And they was like, we were talking about the neurosurgeon things and like brains. So for me, it was really nice. It was not really hard exam, but still, it was like doable. You know?
Yeah, so just to kind of summarize for everyone who wants to apply, the entrance exams works first as a written test, right? With multiple choice questions. The trick is that there can be more than one answer correct, and you never know how many are. I think the topics are physics, biology, chemistry, and logical thinking, I think it was called. And then if you do pass the written, you go on to the interview, which is the ethical questions that you mentioned. Yeah. So what was kind of the selling point for you guys? Why did you choose specifically second faculty of it rather than other universities?
First of all, I cannot go to the first way because I can't speak Czech. But the second faculty, as I mentioned before, I really like to smell good things. And also, I applied to the Italy as well and the Hungary. But for example, like in the case of the Italy, they don't teach anatomy in the first year. So I was like, okay, I really wanted to see like cadavers or like the real medical stuff in the first year. And I think they have a really good application for the medicine in second faculty of medicine. So I think that's what I choose. Yeah.
No, I was considering, it was mainly in the Czech Republic, I was considering third faculty, second, Olomouc and Masaryk. So those are the four. And I came to visit with my parents around Easter last year, and we saw the new campus that was built here, and it was like, this is really cool. We're right next to the hospital as well, so when I'm walking to and from home, I see the hospital, I sort of envision my life later on, which was cool. And yeah, we got shown around by one of the receptionists, showed us all the facilities, and it was really nice. So I could see myself studying there.
Yeah, we're actually recording in the new building right now. And the hospital that is part of our faculty is one of the biggest in Central Europe, so it's one of our selling points.
Also that, of course, yeah.
Also, you can do like the internship in Motul Hospital. I heard that the Motul Hospital is like the biggest one in Czech.
Yeah.
And they have like a good doctors and like professors. So.
And it's really good as well because most of our doctors speak fluent English and they teach very well.
Yeah, and another thing as well was the sort of, as much as you come out with general medicine, you have like a kind of unwritten speciality in pediatrics because it's attached to the largest pediatric hospital.
Yeah,
exactly.
So in Europe, so that was really cool as well to be able to come out as a doctor, but also being kind of specialised in that sort of sector, which was very interesting.
Yeah. You kind of mentioned the Czech language, since neither of you guys are from, countries that speak anything similar to Czech.
Meh.
How is it, learning, trying?
For me, as a Korean, like we have like a different alphabet and like the different pronunciations, so it's like really hard to learn Czech. But I have like kind of fun fact, because when you say ne in Czech, it's no, right? But in Korean, it's yes. So I'm always confused when I say ne or a no. It's like, what did I say? Is it yes or no?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenging language.
Yeah.
It's definitely challenging, but it's a good challenge. It's a good challenge. It's fun learning a new language. I mean, you're integrated with you're surrounded by Czech people all the time. There are some Czech or Slovakian people who are in the English parallel, so you can talk to them as well.
Yeah.
It makes it a bit easier. But the pronunciation is tough. I mean, the R with the is j. I'll get there someday. But yeah, it's definitely no easy feat. But it's a good challenge, and it's way similar to Latin than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's
like the Latin-based languages. So I'm half French as well, and I speak French, and there's a lot of similarities in French that I was shocked with. The way words, they're pretty much the same. I mean, obviously they're spelled slightly differently, but base is the same, so that helps a little bit. A little bit.
Would you say it's manageable to learn Czech while you're learning anatomy in the first year? Is it too much to, wrap your head around?
I think still it's possible. Like, if you really want to talk in Czech and like learn Czech, I think you can. And also, I think it's a good idea when you have like a Czech friend. So like you can just ask and you can just talk. I think that's better. And you really want to learn languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to your intention. If you really want to learn it,
Yeah.
then it will be easy.
But our priority is anatomy, so.
Yeah, the priority will be towards anatomy. Anatomy takes up a lot of time, but there's not that much pressure. There's not as many exams for Czech, and it's still the basics. We're still covering the basics. Once we get further on, you start getting onto the anatomy side of stuff. I'm not looking forward to that, but it's definitely manageable. It's definitely manageable.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of brings me to the other part that I would like to talk to you guys about. It's, studying. How do you do it? How do you get through the first year? Could you maybe start with explaining the subject, how it works, what is expected of students in the first year?
Sure. We have obviously the main one, anatomy, which goes throughout the whole of the first year, so both terms. And then you have different terms. So first term, you start off with anatomy, histology, cell, which is sort of covering back the basics of biology that you did at school, first aid, which is very practical, and everyone's doing some CPR and learning a bunch of cases. We have
biophysics,
learning about MRIs and CT scans and practical side of that as well. And I feel like those ones Czech and Czech and Latin. Yeah. So those are the sort of first subjects, and then now moving on to this term, we finished with cell, finished with biophysics.
We're doing bio.
No, biophysics.
Biophysics,
yeah. Cells transverted to biology. So and still covering anatomy, histology, and embryology is kind of mixed in together. But how do we study for it? How do you study?
I study? Usually I just watch like the lecture first, like from the professor, because it's like really good lecture and they can speak like fluent English. So I just go to the website or like our Moodle, and then first of all I just watch lecture and then just collect like kind of information and go to memoirs, like our professor called his week. And then sometimes I use like camera and just like I talk about like that subject or like the topics with my friends and try to explain and try to understand first, and then like the memorize process. I think that's all. I don't really study that much.
On top of all of that, I think my best friend is being Anki's.
Oh yeah,
Anki is just the flashcards, which is just because it's all memorization. The best way is to just test yourself over and over again in this like Anki notes, which if the people who are listening or watching haven't used it before, it's online flashcards, and you just pump through them, and there's loads of them that are made from people in the years above who have done it as well, so you don't have to spend time writing all these flashcards. So a lot of the time, if I don't want to heads deep in a book, or just Anki.
That's true.
That's the best way.
Yeah, Anki was my best friend in my first year as well.
No, in third.
And in third year.
I think you'll be my best friend ever.
Through med school. Yeah. So can you maybe kind of describe how the testing system works in anatomy? Is it you guys have it basically almost every week or at the end of every block or topic, and especially in the second semester, you do get tested on topics from histology and anatomy in the same test. Is it better, do you think, to learn histology and anatomy in the same kind of spectrum?
Yeah, I think it's good because like you can just see the overview of the anatomy, like the body, and then go to histology for things, and then like dig into the like inside of the organs or bodies. But sometimes I cannot like study history really well because I'm not really interested in it. So, but it's still like, for example, my friend really loved histo, and when she studied histo, and she understands anatomy more better. So if you like combine with the anatomy and the histo, I think it's good. So
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's at the first time we have tests pretty much every week or so that's pretty intense. But the subjects are like pretty superficial in terms of anatomy, and then as you were saying, there's separation between histology, so it's a little bit of a break. But now it makes more sense to put them all together because it's internal organs, and like when you're doing functions which you need for both anatomy and histology, the histology helps with that, and then like they're kind of intertwined, so it makes sense to have them together, and it helps, instead of studying one separately and the other, put them together, they work together. I understand.
And could you guys maybe describe how your practicals work with the specimens and the kind of individual approach? Is it more like teacher-led, or do you feel like you have the space to discuss, ask questions in practicals, especially for anatomy?
I think in my group we do have it, because when I just ask like a random question, because like sometimes when I just see specimens, I don't know what's that, so I was like, can you describe what's that? But they were really kind, and then just explain like what's that and what's the function, blah blah blah, and also like we're not rushing time, so it was okay. I don't know how could I say that.
Yeah, I at first, what shocked me with anatomy was that the lecturers were students, and that for me at first I was like, I mean, obviously with this supervision from the professors and stuff like that who are also teaching, did the main bulk of it, but when we come to the practicals where we're dealing with specimens, it's run by students, which actually kind of takes that pressure off in terms of being able to ask questions, because they've been in your position 2, 3, 4 years ago, and so being able to ask the stupid questions or whatever, doesn't become that at all. They know that they were in your position 2, 3 years ago. They know that you don't know most of it, and also they turn out to be really competent. They know their stuff. So it's been really fun. And seeing them, it takes a bit of time to get used to some of the practicals, but you're surrounded by everyone who's done it for the first time, so it's okay.
Yeah. So would you say the community here at LF2, especially like you said with the upper year students, do you feel like there's support coming from, your peers, your colleagues?
Yeah, I think so, because we have like a good things which is called PeliCast buddy, and when I just like with my PeliCast buddy in the beginning of the year, it was actually nice. They can just let me know how this uni works and how can we study. And if you're like ask some question to the lecturers as well, then they can just like teach me a bit more. So like, okay, wait.
I think the thing that made the community good, just like straight off the bat for me, was Freshers Week, and I said this in one of our previous years, that it was organised, right? So all of our peers and stuff were there, helping the students, talking to them, fun activities, whereas previous university experience for me, I mean, it's much bigger, right? So easy to drown out, but here it's smaller, and immediately we made friends with the upper year, right? So they really created this sort of community, which was very nice.
And also with the other faculties.
And the other faculties as well. And the PeliCast buddy system is good, and my PeliCast buddies helped me a lot, but to be honest, everyone in the upper years is basically in a PeliCast buddy for me. It's just I can ask anyone any question, my lecturers, other people's lecturers. You've been great help to so many people as well. So community being strong, that's one of the best things I've taken from you so far.
Yeah, I think it was one of my favorite things about LF2 as well, is that there's not a lot of students here, which means everyone knows everyone and everyone likes to help.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the great thing about Freshers Week is that you all get to know each other, you get to know your classmates, but we as upper years get to know you as well. And it's my favorite time of year, setting up all the social events, touring Prague as well, which I think is really important for international students to get to know what's where, how everything works. Even from the small things like how to take a tram, how tram tickets work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Fine. It's fun.
So yeah, and that Pelican Buddy program again, it just works as an upper year student volunteers to sign up and we do a Google form, kind of when you're feeling questions about your hobbies, everything, and then we just match the students of the first year students with the upper year students based on what they have in common, and I genuinely think it works. Like I feel like my Pelican buddies, we have a lot in common. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. Yeah. And could you maybe tell us what's your favorite part or just Prague, just living here? If you don't, maybe if you regret moving to Prague itself.
Absolutely not. It's such a beautiful city. It's honestly like it's like a museum kind of. I mean, just every building is stunning.
Yeah.
The public transport is so easy to get around. I mean, I lived in London. Big city, public transport is great. But firstly, it's so expensive and just getting around just takes forever. But it's so easy here. I mean, the student ticket, which was equivalent to £30 for a year, covers tram, metro, and bus. I mean, that was a relish. I was like, this is good. And yeah, there's loads of things to do. Food is really good. Christmas market was pretty special.
That was really
It was pretty special.
Because in Korea we don't really have a Christmas market. And like for the Europe, then just like go to Europe in the Christmas season, it's so beautiful still.
I felt like I was in a movie,
Yeah.
just going around back in the day.
And also like the landscape. I just like walk on the hill or like kind of higher place than the normal one. And it's like really beautiful with the red roof.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like a tiny houses and like also dogs. Like I think Czech people love dogs. Yeah.
There's a lot of dogs
Yeah.
in Prague.
Yeah.
And I just walk around and I see them. Oh yeah, it's so cute.
Castle's amazing. It's castle. So the only downside for me is I used to cycle everywhere in London.
Mm-hmm.
So uncycle friendly, yeah. I mean, the paved roads, unless I have like a really good suspension bar that they can take parking around, then yeah, that was the only downside. But I mean, I take the bus and tram everywhere anyway, so
yeah,
it's okay.
Okay. Well, do you guys have any parting advice for potential students on, maybe application process or maybe actually studying here?
Oh, hey, what would I tell myself?
No, what would you tell your past self?
I'll tell my past self. I guess sounds kind of I don't know what the word is, but I mean, don't be afraid of what it is. It's a big commitment. That's why. I mean, I'm 23 and I'm only starting now. And when I was 18, it was like I'm too scared to commit.
Oh
Yeah. And even now, I sort of made that decision. And so happy I've made it. So don't be afraid to give your all. It's going to be hard, so be realistic about it. Don't think that you're just going to go into it's going to be an easy breeze. Just be ready for the intensity of it. And yeah.
Okay, I would say don't give up. Because like 2 years ago, I was really sick. So I got like a disease, so I kind of gave up. But like I just tried again and it works really well. So I just want to say, even if it's really hard, like being a math student, but like, of course you can do it. So don't give up and just like don't be afraid, as you mentioned. So good.
And would you say, apart from your studies, you do get to enjoy Prague, your life here? It's not all just
this semester, yeah.
I definitely have a great there. That's a big thing for any Wishman. And also, another piece of advice I would say is don't just orientate, like have some fun. Do find another activity or sport, something like that, because if you really do just engross. I mean, some people can do it, you know, and by all means, if that's who you are, then go for it. But personally, I need that balance, you know, playing rugby on the side or something like that, which is huge for me. So finding sports or an activity that takes your mind off medicine.
Okay, thank you guys very much for this. It was really nice talking to you. And yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.